Greetings, everyone. Hello. We
Hello.
are live from Lobos in Melbourne. We're here at I would say, Australia's premier toy store.
Yeah, I would say
Pretty
so.
good,
It's
yeah.
got enough attention from elsewhere for that.
Dennis runs a very tight ship, as well as a plethora of toys that you could even try and poke sticks at. So he's got an incredible collection here, as well as vintage and modern toys for sale. We've got the Toy Wheel crew from Melbourne, as well as Sydney here tonight, unplanned, uncut, and we thought, as we always do, when we come to Melbourne, we always will come and see Dennis. So, yeah, what can I say? We're gonna speak to a couple of guys tonight, and you've got a couple of things that you spotted.
Yeah, I've got a couple of things I've spotted already. For those that haven't seen this store before, you're kind of getting a taste behind us here. I'm pretty sure you're only just seeing the tip of it. There's a lot more to this place than just this. I think you'll be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I walked in here today, and Dennis is constantly adding collections and stock, different brands, different franchises. It's just incredible. Like, I mean, I haven't seen, I would say, like I said, when I say it's Australia's premier toy store,
Yep.
I think, like, seriously, he's got literally everything under the sun.
Yeah, and it's not just that he has a lot of stuff, it's that he has a lot from those items.
Yep.
So there's 3 or 4 different cabinets full of Star Wars stuff, from the very early stuff right till the modern stuff.
Yeah.
There's huge range of Masters of the Universe, Marvel, DC. I could go on. There is a lot of stuff available here, and I would definitely come around with us and have a look. You will find stuff that you want to look at.
Exactly. So he's, as usual, he shuts the store. We've got the crew guys in here and some special guests, and we get the luxury of being able to slowly go through the cabinets and pick out a couple of things. Like I said, you already spotted a couple of things, and so have I. And I'm really excited to show them. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to flip the camera around in a minute. We're going to cut to some of the guys. We've got, like I said, a couple of guys in the store, but we'll be right back. So stay tuned, kick back, get a beverage, and we'll speak to you soon. Okay, we're live. Hello.
Hello.
And we got Jason, the Bruce, and we
this
have
is like a crappy 80s cop show.
Jason Murray.
Welcome to Jason and Jason.
Yeah, you're live with Jason and Jason. Have you got a makeup brush? No.
No, it's to stop your wind giving the p into the microphone.
Are we allowed to say things about my wind? I thought that was under medical clearance.
Well, too bad. I've said it now.
We got Rod Franklin that says good evening.
How's it going?
Hey,
G'day,
Rob.
Rob.
And also
Hello,
Chris
Rob.
B, good evening, Spunky, she goes.
She must be talking to you.
I
I don't know about that.
GB model that says hello there.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. So as always, we come here and we speak to... oh, yeah, that's fine. That's as always, we speak to Dennis, and we're going to take a bit of a tour. And the guys have, I suppose, what would you say, picked out 2 items or 3 items that have sort of jumped out at you?
Yeah, there's a couple of items I've picked out that I don't think we've looked at previously, but will definitely get some attention. Dennis did say that he wants to be antisocial tonight and he doesn't want to talk on camera, so he must think we smell or something.
Yeah. Okay, Jason, let's go. Have you spotted anything?
Yep, we'll go around. We're going to
see
go
what
around the
Jason-
corner.
You're going to have to go by J1 and J2 tonight.
Okay, J1, J2. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, J1. What have you found?
Oh, well, my first item.
Hang on. So we got to make sure that he's got the mic.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
hello.
Yeah. All
So
right.
my first item is down here. I decided I'm gonna do this. I'm just going to try and do this walking backwards and see whether or not I run into anyone. My first item, I thought maybe I might not choose a Transformer. I know, right? It's shocking. So instead, what I have chosen is this lovely little display of not Frodo Frog, although this is quite awesome. Have a look at these little look at these Nintendo Game & Watches here.
How
Now,
cool.
I mean, these things. I had several of these when I was growing up. I couldn't quite remember the names of them right now, but just in case there's not enough on that side of them, you've also got more on this side. So there's the classic old Donkey Kong one. The Donkey Kong one is the game that everyone had and everyone wanted to play. But there's so many other options in the Game & Watch series. They're pretty awesome. I'm in danger of spending some money, so I think we should probably hand back over to the other Jason. What have you got, mate?
Yeah, what have you got?
Well, for mine, we're going to have to go around the back. So follow me.
So,
As he says.
Do we have dinner and light conversation first, or do we just go straight around the back?
Okay.
So around the back here, we get some very, very nostalgic lines. There's a lot of 80s and even earlier stuff back here.
Yep.
But the thing that drew my attention is something I remember from my childhood wanting but never had. These Inspector Gadget toys are from 1989. These are quite insane with the amount. Whether they hold up today as far as articulation and stuff is concerned, I don't really care. But you've got his extending neck. You can see you've got your helicopter there. You've got your mallet.
Do you know what's amazing about this for me? I actually have just been cleaning up my house and getting a lot of stuff out of the spare room, and I found these very sets in storage in the spare room. Absolutely not in any good condition whatsoever. There's no box or anything like this. The Gadget Mobile, which does transform, in fact. If you just pan down there, like the Gadget Mobile does transform from the van into the police car. So like it's very on point for me as far as Transformers go. Yeah. That has had the absolute crap kicked out of it, and I actually picked it out of the storage drawer, and I meant to bring it in to see whether or not Dennis was interested in it for display. I think the answer might be no. Okay. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. So lovely. So going back again to Inspector Gadget, is that something you feel that you had?
No, I didn't. I actually had a soft toy of Inspector Gadget when I was young, but this is the toy I wanted to have. We didn't have a lot of stuff growing up, so. Yeah. But there's a lot of nostalgia to this because it has all of the play features that you remember from the cartoon.
Yeah.
So you've got his handcuffs, you've got his big mallets, the helicopter, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Actually, you can kind of recreate things.
It's quite interesting because this one, the Western one versus the French one, the Western one doesn't have the handcuffs in there. Whether that's because it was sealed or unsealed, or I don't know. But they're definitely there in the French one, and I'd say they probably have not stood the test of time very well from it.
Yeah, but the box looks still in pretty good condition. So,
sure is.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got a couple of comments. We have to allude back to the games over there. So quickly, just Rob Franklin was going, I used to have that orange one that played Donkey Kong.
Absolutely. Everyone had that. It was amazing.
And Crispy goes, that's dope. Mine arrived in the post today, Donkey Kong and Mickey and Donald. Timeless classics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Classics is definitely the word.
Rob goes, I also had the triple screen game, Diamond Hunt. And
I think that was there.
Yes.
I think that was on the bottom shelf.
And So Fragile, I get scared handling them. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. So one of the things stood out for you. Anything else?
Not from this side. Maybe we'll head down this way because I think Chris has seen something as well.
So Chris from our Melbourne Toy World crew group. Hey, Chris, how are you going?
Not bad. How's everyone out there?
Yeah, good. I'm just going to get you to just keep that mic down here.
Yep.
That's it. Perfect.
No problems.
Get a.
And how is everyone out there in watching the stream?
Interwebs. What's caught your eye here today?
Well, something that is I'm a big collector of. It is a statue, so it's not really a toy in general, but good old Premier Collection Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyone that actually knows me knows that I'm a massive Spider-Gwen fan.
Why is that?
Because she's awesome.
Not only that, so when she actually started, the one thing that she was actually involved in was as a she was actually a musician and a drummer of all that.
Yeah,
so
right.
That's something I really wanted to do when I was growing up, but I never actually got the chance to do it. But so yeah, it's something that caught my eye.
Chris goes, hi, Chris.
How you going?
Crispy goes, hi, Chris.
How you going, Chris? From another Chris.
All right, cool. So anything else?
Two Chris's, two Jasons.
There is actually one other thing that caught my eye, but it's on the other side.
Let's go. Let's follow you.
So follow me through this maze of awesomeness.
It's incredible, right?
100%. There's,
Oh, okay.
doesn't matter where you go, you find something.
Okay, tell us
So-
about this.
Now, something that caught my eye and I never knew actually existed. So we got the 2 little Akira figurines done by McFarlane Toys
Yep.
at the back.
Yep.
Absolute awesome movie back from in the 80s. As good figurines as well. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we were talking before, and you had something like that?
I had those, and I even had the bike, Circinator with his bike, and they were sold in a set, and you could actually fit that figure and get him mounted in the bike itself. And then they sold at that time with McFarlane Toys, super popular, not particularly articulated, well sculpted. They were sort of more like statuettes. So they sold a lot of their toys as non-articulated but high quality sculpts and paint of lots of different characters. This was part of that line. They obviously Spawn.com, and McFarlane was renowned for that stuff, and he started the whole business and then branched out and got different licenses, and Akira was one of them.
Yep. So one thing that really caught my eye was actually the Tetsuo figure.
Yeah.
It actually looked like, and you might be able to confirm with me,
Yeah.
the arm comes off and you can actually put the arm that mutates later.
Correct. Yeah, you can swap the arm as well. So Akira is hot. Crispy goes, Akira is hot. The McFarlane lines is one of my favorite and favorites, and Bandai make great ones too. Yes, they do. Hello, gentlemen, and hello to Dennis, guys at Lobos. Hi to you, the Lilith 1978. Thank you so much for joining us. As you can see, we are all like pig in shit. So great place. Cool. So what do you think? You're going to pick it up, Chris?
Probably not. Only reason why I'm not going to pick it up is in October I am going to New York Comic Con.
Yes.
So I need to think rationally and think what I'm going to be able to pick up toys-wise at New York Comic Con.
Oh, so quickly, while you said, well, that's wonderful news, and I think that's what you should be saving your pennies for. But Chris has just said that, yes, I have these loose and seal. So can I read? Though the arm is very weighty and looks amazing. So maybe you should put hit Chris up and see whether she'll sell those to you.
Potentially.
Yeah, cool.
Maybe when I get back, see how much money I've got after my trip.
Okay, cool. Anything else that sort of caught your eye, guys? So far, what about Talon? Where's Talon? Let's go and find Talon. We've got to ask.
Talon's around the other side, so we're going to go for a wander.
Yeah.
And see if we can find where he's hiding. I'm pretty sure he's behind here with all of the Star Wars stuff.
Guys, if there's anything you want to see in the interwebs,
let's go on the way past. Can you find? Oh, there he is.
Talon.
We're gonna come back there.
Shine the camera all the way from there.
No. What's caught your eye, buddy?
Look, here's the thing. Clinton wanted us to find something that catches our eye, but the reality is all of it catches your eye because there's just so much in here. Yeah, it is a cop, but there is so much here.
Look, to be fair, he's only had 2 hours to decide.
And that's the thing. You do a full round of this store, and then you'll do another round, and then you'll spot something you missed, and that'll just be continuous every time you do a round of this store. So. That goes to show just how much there is in here. Like, there's like 4 cabinets here of just Motu stuff, which is pretty insane.
I'm gonna pan the camera around. Look at that stuff. Crazy, right?
The range of Motu stuff that they have here is absolutely insane.
Let's get. So these are primarily a lot of the vintage stuff.
Yep. So this is all vintage. Well, actually, no, it's not all vintage.
Yeah, majority of vintage. Actually.
There's even mint on card Battletoads.
Well, there you go. We have Juan Carlos. Hi guys, I've got many of my Motu classics at Lobos. Amazing place for collectors, indeed. The Lilith 1978, walk into Lobos and your wallet is empty, but you have bags of awesome stuff. Dennis, what do you have to say about that? Where is Dennis?
Where is Dennis?
He's hiding, I think.
He's disappeared. Dennis!
Please just have him rise up.
No, he's
hiding on purpose.
He's hiding. You can't find.
He's gone home and left us in the store.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Does that mean that we can do what we want?
All right.
He's over us already.
Okay, so let's for the benefit of those people that haven't been to Lobos, maybe we should just quickly take them through maybe some of the quick cabinets in terms of all the different brands and
well, if we start at the top here and we'll end down here with the thing that I was going to talk about.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's do that.
So up the top here, as Clinton gets some lovely, I'm going to call it B-roll footage, even though it's not B-roll technically.
Well,
so we're
right.
starting with, let's be fair, one of the classics here. G.I. Joe was huge back in its day. It's having a lovely resurgence right now with the classified line. There's a lot of arguments that that's possibly the best thing that's out there right now as far as modern stuff is concerned. They have what feels to me like everything. I'm certainly not an expert on G.I. Joe, but there is so much stuff here. There's stuff in here that I own at home that unfortunately is not in very good condition.
We got some vehicles up there too.
Yeah, the vehicles. And the vehicles, for me, was always the highlight of the range. I mean, the action figures are nice and everything, but I think the vehicles was what got everybody excited personally.
Yeah.
Especially the ones where it ends up being like two things in one and stuff. That's always the stuff that stood out to me.
Okay.
Moving along here, we have another classic that I always seem to think is 90s, but it was 80s. We have the Turtles with the Technodrome, which I think is another one of those toys that everybody wanted. It's just glorious. Somewhere up here is the blimp. I used to have the blimp, and it doesn't hold up over time very well. It's very fragile.
There we go. Very nice. And some more turtles down there.
Yep. It's absolutely insane.
Actually,
how
two
much
cabinets
of
full
this
of turtles.
They have.
And we got some Eastman and Laird comics as well.
Yes.
There, as well as there.
Yep. Lots and lots of from different ranges, which is nice because Turtles has been around long enough that it's been kind of recycled a few times now. We've got some of the crazy, insane stuff. I know the wrestler Matt Cardona famously picked up I think it was a Michelangelo dressed up as Michael Jordan, and there's a backstory to why he grabbed that. And this continues down, as Talon suggested earlier. We have some brand new on-card stuff, or mint on-card stuff, including Battletoads, which is somewhat insane to me.
How cool is that? Whoa, Battletoads.
Bendems were a big thing at one point. Like, they really, really were. I believe that's the original Donatello next to them.
That's 10 back one.
Yep.
I used to have that back in the day. It's a shame I don't anymore. Then you got some of your Super 7s down the bottom.
Yep. And some loose stuff down there as well.
I quite like the shell head. That's actually, or metal head, sorry.
This one down here?
Yeah, he's quite nice. I think he's a little bit underrated, that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say underrated. I think some of the Super 7 stuff is, like I said, you either like it or you lump it. So,
yes. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got we already talked about Motu. We've got more Motu here. All again vintage box. Like it's just a different variety of different things. Then we have Batman. Keaton Batman primarily, with all the other different iterations as well. I think Dennis is a massive Batman fan. Some people will claim that they are Batman connoisseurs, and there are some, anyway, whatever. You got to walk into the store, I think.
Yeah, like it's the thing that stands out to me about Lobos is you don't just have stuff shoved in a cabinet. Everything has been put together to display as much as possible, and it really stands out, especially with the Star Wars stuff that we'll get to shortly.
Yeah, and the thing I find also about Lobos is it doesn't have to be a big building.
No,
like it doesn't have to be a big space, but he's got quality rather than quantity.
Yep.
Such good quality stuff, both, like I said, both modern and vintage.
I don't know if it's Dennis specifically, but somebody has spent a lot of time in this store making sure the layout works.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff in here, but you also don't feel cramped, which is a really hard balance to get.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon in a Retro's toy store to have a lot of stuff, but then feel like you can't go anywhere without knocking into stuff.
Yeah. Rob was saying curated toy displays. You're absolutely right. They're absolutely curated. Very well done. Done in themes, done in cabinets. Wonderful. Chris goes, Batman has seen a resurgence in popularity in the last 12 months. So,
nice. Yes. Yeah, true. I actually really liked the new movie. I thought it was really good, and that's definitely helped.
By the way, speaking of He-Man and Masters of the Universe, Craig goes, hey, Clint, if there's a classic Battle Cat, let me know. Or any classics vehicles, hook a brother up.
There's a whole bunch of classics.
Craig, I got to tell you, it's going to be bad news because over there, which will take you in a minute, there is a whole wall of Motu Classics. So anyway, okay, Jason, what have we
Craig,
got
you know
here?
that saying, ask for forgiveness, not permission? You might want to start practicing if you have a look at that wall.
Yep. Okay, what have we got here?
So here we have another curated line, like there's been some time put into this. Dino-Riders is another one of these lines that to me was huge when I was growing up, but it wasn't around for a huge amount of time. I think most people remember, at least people that are old enough, will remember the Diplodocus or Diplodocus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say both because otherwise I'll get in trouble by one half of the community, what you call it. Down the bottom, you have arguably the most iconic toy from the range, the T-Rex.
Yep.
I think that's pretty much what everybody wanted. There's so much here. Down here is what I always used to think was a Velociraptor, but it's not. I'm not going to say what it's called because I can't pronounce the name.
Yeah.
Dino-Riders is one of those shows that to me just really screamed that it should have never stopped. It's about dinosaurs, it's about aliens, it's got guns, it's got lasers. It's everything every kid ever wanted. And it was kind of around for 3 or 4 years and then it disappeared because everything kind of fell over in the 90s at one point.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it's Mattel or Hasbro. One of them owns the rights to this and have been teasing they'll do something with it for like 15 years now. But this is especially like the Diplodocus and the T-Rex are huge items in my eyes.
Yep.
They are, I mean, they're also very pricey for a reason. These are not easy to come by. These are actually mechanical. These will actually walk, the two larger ones. And obviously having motors inside them, that is something that will burn out over time, potentially, if they're not looked after. The last line is the Ice Age one that you're looking at there.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I think the prettiest of them. I love, it's a very simple design that he's done with his phone. Like quite literally, it's just styrofoam. But it works really, really well.
Yeah. Okay.
We go into another one of your favorite franchises.
Ooh, Godzilla. Kaijus.
And then underneath it is really, really old stuff. This is not my childhood. This is before me.
Yeah. Well, I've something that's actually really fascinating that I've spotted is Clash of the Titans. All the Ray Harryhausen stuff.
Yeah.
Incredible. This guy here is iconic.
Look at the owl.
Yeah.
That is all. That just looks like it's straight out of the movie. That is brilliant.
Crazy, right? Yeah, there you go. Just back there.
Yeah.
Quickly, Chris went, they released some Dino Riders related items a few years back, which was a huge hit. I thought that would have prompted a relaunch, but nothing seems to have come yet.
If you're talking about the little rubber toys that they released about 2 years ago, I bought them hoping that it would show a resurgence.
Yeah.
It didn't, but
okay.
Fingers crossed.
What do we have here, Jason?
This is a very, very small line. Nobody's ever heard of Transformers at all. This is, let's be fair, probably the line that brought most of us together. It's how most of us. I'm talking about how nobody's ever heard of Transformers.
Oh yes, it's very obscure. Like you wouldn't have heard of it before. You know, that's no.
Yeah.
You especially haven't heard of any of the rare Beast Wars stuff that's in the cabinet here. You've never heard of those. Don't buy them so that I can. We'll see. But yes.
Is there much in here that you don't have? Because I know your collection's quite not small.
Oh, you know what? It's a bit all over the place, right? Like there's lots of stuff from different eras, even just on this one shelf, right? I'm not a big Beast Wars collector, so I don't have a lot of that. I've got my eye on the little bunny rabbit though.
I like the bunny. I like the bunny rabbit.
I like the bunny rabbit too. I'll fight you for him. There's this giant animated Optimus Prime. I love Transformers animated. And then there's these other things as you come down the cabinet here that some of them I've seen before, some of them I haven't. There's these commemorative editions that came out in the early 2000s, and then the Timelines ones are from BotCon. That's old Transformers convention. The Timelines and the stuff from BotCon, and also from the Collectors Club, they're very, very obscure and hard to find. So they have, I'm glancing at that and I see a $200 price tag on it. That's probably about right for it. It's probably a bargain. In fact, I think that's Nightbeat.
Yeah. Rob Franklin goes Transformers ? Wannabe GoBots.
Well, to be fair, GoBots did come out first. Only technically, but they did come out first.
How does Rob know that line? But that's okay. That might be a reference to something that happened last week, actually. But yeah, we'll see.
Okay, let's move on. Let's see what's this shelf here. More Transformers.
More Transformers. We're going into some of your more modern stuff now. So there's a lot of the Titans Returned and Combiner Wars stuff over here. You've also got some of your movie stuff as well, your Movieverse stuff. Some people really love this, some people don't.
86 movie?
Yep. Loving the 86 movie stuff. Actually, no, these are Titans Return. That's not 86 movie.
Well, there's 86 movie stuff begun.
Never mind.
It's the 86 movie cast.
Yeah.
Up there, notable is the leader class Scourge from Studio. I think he's Studio Series 100. He's the bad guy from last year's Rise of the Beasts.
Yep.
But yeah.
Okay. Cool. And we're moving on to this cabinet over here.
Yeah, we're getting into older stuff again now. This is stuff that is outside of my expertise. I see some Power Ranger stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Lost in Space. Obviously, I do know that. Tron.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in here that I'm actually unaware of what it is, which doesn't help.
Also, Battlestar Galactica.
Can we point out the Apple II?
Yeah.
Here as
True.
well? Like, look at that. There's a little tag on it saying not for sale. But yeah.
There you go. Battlestar Galactica.
Which is nice, like really old school Battlestar Galactica 2. Really, really nice looking stuff.
If we're looking at big robots as well as we were, and I'm just going to drag us back to them. Look at the top. Look at these things on the top of the cabinet. They're enormous.
I don't think they transform though, which is disappointing.
Transform into credit card debt.
Craig was saying Starcom, I think. Starcom.
Yeah.
Starcom? Yeah, Starcom. Yep. Okay.
These big Transformers here. I used to have one of these, and I don't remember which one it is, and I don't know what happened to it.
They're not Transformers.
No, they're not Transformers, but that's okay. Nobody knows what Transformers are.
They're very obscure.
Yeah.
Going into what is another classic, you're looking at some real classic wrestling figures here. There's some Rambo underneath them.
Actually, speaking of wrestling, but the two of you know a thing or two about wrestling.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm a big fan of wrestling.
Yeah.
So we got some.
I thought that was going.
We got some classic LJN stuff in here. So we got Roddy Piper in both of them for some reason. You got Hillbilly Jim, Junkyard Dog, Bobby the Brain Heenan there in the back. This is actually Rikishi, although it doesn't say that. It's one of his previous names they're using.
I was wondering about that, actually. I saw that and I thought he hadn't been around for that long, had he? But yes.
Just quick summary. I spotted this. I had this when I was a kid. Crossbows and catapults. How awesome was this game?
I'm surprised this hasn't come back, honestly, because this feels like it's a hit and run.
Occupational health and safety. Crossbows and catapults.
Good evening, Gavin Atkins. Greetings. Good day. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Tell us where you're from. Melbourne or Sydney or Adelaide or wherever you're from, Australia. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so crossbows and catapults, definitely something, one of my faves, actually. Very nostalgic, brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah. Speaking of nostalgia, it's the movie series that only has 3 movies. There's definitely nothing after that.
Actually, Banjo, thanks for joining us. I am not sure. He reckons that they may have had a remake on Kickstarter for crossbows and catapults.
Let me
actually
Google that while your phone is busy.
Yeah, so Jason's going to Google that and see if they actually... But I'm so in if that's the case, because I tell you what, really, really good memories.
It just makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you something that has nostalgia trip for me. I know a lot of people don't really hold this in high regard, but Captain Planet was... I had a real love for this show when I was a kid. And these toys feel like they'll hold up quite well. I don't know how well they hold up as far as lasting, but they look really nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they're bright colours, which helps, obviously, but they're really cool. Okay. Centurions.
Officially, yes, indeed, there was a Crossbows and Catapults Kickstarter.
Did it fun?
It got to 950,000 of its 100,000 goal, and I don't know when it was. It was updated. It was actually, it was updated last month, so it's probably you might be able to.
It's probably in the process of being shipping or something.
There
maybe?
You go, Banjo. You are absolutely right. And Craig, I love the show reference to Captain Planet. The vehicles for CP were pretty great. Yep.
Actually, can we talk about how they've juxtaposed Captain Planet with Swamp
Swamp
Thing?
Thing, yeah.
Rather than the toxic waste.
It kind of makes
That's great.
It kind of makes sense, really.
Yeah.
We also have Centurions here,
Yep.
which I think the OGs.
Yeah, well, Centurions went through a bit of a renaissance the last couple of years with one of the Transformers third parties. I think it was Ramen Toys.
Yes,
Yeah, they did a series of Centurions, so they've been quite well received, I think.
Yeah, cool. Okay, moving on.
Speaking of Toxic, we have the Toxic Crusader, which is also in a process of being revitalized at the moment. I want to say it's Super 7 that's doing a line of these. I could be wrong.
Yeah, possibly.
Is there a difference between the Toxic Avenger and the Toxic Crusaders?
Do you want to do Brains Trust, Chris Steffer?
I want to say Toxic Crusaders is the cartoon. Toxic Avengers was the horror movie. Correct. I could be wrong.
So Texas Toxic.
Sorry?
I apologize, my
Sorry.
people, for the giant thud. If any one of you guys are wearing headphones, these guys have no idea when it comes to mic technique. No idea.
No, not at all.
No idea.
So yeah,
Let's
Jason was
adjudicator.
Jason is correct. So Toxic Crusaders was the cartoon that they created for the young kids. The other one was a horror movie that they released, which was, I believe, in the 80s, and I've got friends that are going to be yelling at me for not being able to say exactly. Sorry about that for the Perth horror crew. Sorry. But yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. One was a kids show back in, I think, in the 90s, and the other one was a horror movie.
Cool. Craig goes, Centurions is my holy grail toy line. So there you go. All right. Thank you, Chris. We'll grab that off for you again, and let's move on quickly. So there we go. We've got some crash test dummies.
Here's a toy line that, when it came out, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand how you could make a toy line out of it, and it just proved me wrong at every corner. These are the first toys that I remember, at least, that deliberately broke, and you could put them back together again.
Yep.
For a toy line, crash test dummies in and of themselves made no sense.
Yeah.
But it worked really well. Underneath them, I think, is a lot of people's favourite again, because here we have Street Sharks.
Nice.
And I'm not going to say it the way that it should be said. Street Sharks!
Cool.
These are also in the process of being brought back at the moment. And I kind of want them.
Just in case anyone's wondering, this thing here is not my finger. It is actually part of the camera gimbal. So that's normal. I understand that's slightly in shot, but really, hey, I don't really care, because we're trying to stabilize the shot and bring you a live stream with lots of content, which is king. So unfortunately, the phone is slightly heavy, and it's going to be in shot, but who cares? Anyway, let's go.
Jurassic Park, again, very nostalgic. A toy line that kind of, people are starting to come out and hunt for this stuff again now. With Jurassic World that happened recently, it kind of brought people back into wanting the old stuff again. They used to have this, they felt real when you touched them, and you could take bits of the skin off to touch the meat inside.
Crazy, huh?
It was a really cool idea.
Amazing.
There is some of the modern stuff down the bottom as well.
Yep.
Moving on, we have, I can't remember the name of this bear.
It'll come to you.
Wacky Wobblers, Banana Splits, I know what it is. The best rabbit cartoon ever made. Fight me. Looney Tunes, Disney. This is kind of a bit of a catch-all cabinet by the look of it.
Yeah.
Simpsons.
Yeah. Playmates.
This particular line is huge. Super 7 recently stopped their Simpsons.
Okay.
I believe. I could be wrong on that. I think it was Super 7 that did.
It got canned. Yeah, the line got canned. I think it didn't take off as well as they anticipated. But if anyone wants to collect Simpsons, this, to me, I think the Playmates ones are still, incredibly expensive now. I mean, if you got to buy card figures, but, still, I would go for the Playmates. I think that, they're really well sculpted, really nice, and the amount of characters they've released in terms of the entire collection is quite astounding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure,
Yeah.
which is brilliant. I'm actually a big fan of the sequel as well, Bogus Adventure.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters over here. It's not exactly a secret that I'm a fan.
Yes, tell us how much of a fan are you, Jason?
I have the HasLab Proton Pack. I have the wand. I have the 2-in-1 HasLab that is, in theory, coming before the end of the year. I have almost all of the plasma series, bar the slime ones. I have everything but the Diamond Select stuff that somebody else has and I'm jealous of. But I don't need it. It's okay.
Okay, what are we seeing here now?
DC, mostly modern DC from what I can understand, although I think that Penguin may be slightly older. I mean, it's based on an older Penguin, but
yeah.
Hush, I think, personally, one of my favourite modern characters, although even that's maybe not modern anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Hush was just phenomenal when that came out, kind of a resurgent for the line when it happened.
Probably one of...
We do have a modern Penguin down here.
Yep.
There we go.
Will Siegel Jones, hello, Playmate Simpsons are some of my most cherished figures from my childhood. Yep, we definitely walked past there, and certainly I hear you, Will. Fantastic. Gavin Atkins goes, where is Yoda hiding? As in Dennis.
Good question.
Yep.
He's antisocial today, and he doesn't want to be on camera
He
today.
doesn't want to be on camera. Yeah, he's a bit shy today. He's a bit shy.
Almost appropriately, we have Marvel right next to DC. You can't have these apart. You have to have them together, let's be fair. We have a little bit of everything in here.
Yeah.
Again, it doesn't feel like it's just been shoved in. It's been, I mean, you've got a few things that's fallen over, but everything's been displayed in a way that you can kind of see everything, apart from the fact that there's been a few things that fell over, which happens.
This entire and mind you, there's also the back section.
Yep.
Which maybe let's do a quick one because we want to speak to Andy as well. Andy is a frequent customer and a friend of Dennis.
You want to go that way first, then, and we can have a look at the Star Wars on the way.
Definitely.
And we'll come back for the He-Man stuff shortly.
Okay. All right. So here we have Star Wars.
Yeah. This is just the start. Trust me when I say this is the piece de la resistance. If you're a Star Wars fan, this is where you want to come.
Before we go over there, just want to show people the NECA booth. So this is the NECA cabinet with some older NECA figures, everything from RoboCop, Terminator, to your full shelf of Predator NECA figures, and also the Aliens here as well, Aliens 2 with all the Colonial Marines. Yeah. That's a nice set, and some RoboCop at the bottom shelf. And if you look over here, we have all your Super Mario stuff. A bit of bits and bobs of little bits and pieces here and there. And then we also have all your, if I'm correct, some NECA as well as SOTA toys, Street Fighter stuff. Yeah. Street Fighter stuff, yeah. And also some Mortal Kombat stuff is here as well. Yeah.
Seems to be this is the video game section.
Yeah.
There is part of me that's looking at that Duke Nukem in the corner.
Yeah.
And although I know I shouldn't be a fan, I'm kind of looking at that going, oh, that's really pretty.
That's really pretty, yeah. Cool. All right. Let's go down this aisle.
Let's continue with the Star Wars stuff. Just a quick shot down the shelf. There is a lot of the larger play sets here, but the real important stuff is in the cabinets again.
Yeah. So
because this is where I start to point out that every single one of these cabinets is a display.
Yep.
And I mean display.
So Tatooine, you got the Dewbacks, original OG stuff here, vintage. Cardboard cutouts for the Sandcrawler.
Yep.
These things were also molded, plastic molded sort of dioramas. There you go, Sandcrawler again, the Droid Factory down here.
I think the Jawas are massively underrated as a toy. Like they are, especially for the day, they are phenomenal.
And, speaking of Cantina playsets, you look at this, what we kids were given back in the late 70s and early 80s
not even a comparison
to what HasLab has now released and announced. But there still holds a lot of nostalgia for fans, particularly people my age that, I had this when I was a kid. So there you go.
I had that Chewbacca.
Yeah, there you go. Creature Cantina playset, as well as the Falcon down there as well.
Yeah.
Again, classics, right? I like so Dewbacks all body lickers, Gavin Atkins says. Yeah, definitely body lickers, Gavin. Cool.
Sadly, there's no actionable tongue on these figures. That didn't come until later.
Yeah. Okay, and here
Death Star.
Death Star.
So this is another cardboard playset. I would argue that there's no other reason that you could have done this in the day.
Yeah.
And even then, like, this is way out of scale, but it doesn't matter. Everything's really, really pretty. I mean, the X-Wings, everybody wanted the X-Wings and the TIE Fighters.
As well as the Y-Wings.
Yep.
The Y-Wing seat. There you go. There's your Hoth display.
I think this might be my favorite of the cabinets, personally.
Yeah.
It's just, you have everything here. The molded plastic, and it all kind of fits in together. The AT-ATs. AT-ATs or AT-ATs? I know that's another argument.
It doesn't matter.
It's another argument to be had.
Yeah.
Very, very, very pretty.
Yeah, very impressive. Like I said, all very well curated.
Yes.
Lovely themed cabinets. Fantastic. I think Dennis prides himself on setting up these displays. And like I said again, some of the best displays in Australia.
Yeah. And to be able to curate something to look like this while you're running a store as well, I don't think people understand just how much work goes into running a store.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether there's customers in at the time or not, there's a lot of bookwork and stuff that needs to be done behind the scenes.
Gavin goes, you have excelled at your cabinet dressing skills. Yep. Adam said, and because Empire was #1. So I think Adam's favorite of the trilogy, the original trilogy, obviously, is Empire, for sure. I agree. There you go, Cloud City.
Yeah.
Once again, Slave 1 with X-Wings down there, and then another Falcon up here. We have obviously the battle damaged X-Wing vehicle that is, has landed on Yoda's little dwelling home, his hood.
I love the crashed one next to it. Is just so much how they've used the packing foam to just make it look like rubber.
Like the swamp. Well, this is the Dagobah sort of play set.
Yep.
And then obviously we were
so he's created his swamp.
Yeah, with the swamp. Dagobah. Okay.
Jabba's Fortress with the Rancor.
Yep. I had very fond memories of this Rancor, and also all the Gamoran guards here. You get the Rancor Keeper here as well. The action playset. This, for me, I tell you what, I cherished. It was sensational.
I had this guy.
Weequay.
Yep. I had him.
Yep. And obviously the band. We finally have nice, awesome, beautiful skiffs, as well as HasLab's wonderful sail barge. So all this, I was always hoping to get a full vehicle set of both skiffs as well as sail barge, and it's finally come to realization and fruition as well. Thank you so much, HasLab. Now, this is impressive.
Yeah, I love this. If you want to talk about army building, this is why you army build.
Yes. Look at that.
Because this is just perfection.
So nice.
It's really pretty.
Yeah. So
and to have the ship there right in the middle of it as well, it just chef's kiss.
The Tidarium shuttle. There you go. So we have obviously all the Endor condiments.
Yep.
We got a little Dagobah thing here, but I don't know why that's there. You got your speeder bikes. You have your Ewoks.
You have your Hook playset, or was it Robin Hood playset? It gets repainted as that later on.
Yeah, that's right. Ewok Village. A couple of vintage vehicles here, the Y-Wing fighter as well as the B-Wing. And see you down there. So like really nicely curated, like I said, and laid out cabinets for Star Wars. So if you're a Star Wars fan and you're definitely into vintage Star Wars as well as modern Star Wars, which you will find at the back of the store, this is the place to come to. And if you look around here, you have everything from your legacy collection to, the different various releases, vintage collection that Hasbro released. So anyway, on our way to the modern section, we have Andy here. Hello, Andy.
Hey guys.
How are you going?
Good, mate. How are you?
Cool. Tell us a bit about your channel, Andy's.
Just my YouTube videos that I put up, do some unboxings and that. It's just Andy's Awesome Collectibles.
Andy's Awesome.
And my Facebook page as well. So do some videos on there, unboxings and just sort of reviews on different products. So some of my own collection stuff. So yeah.
And you are from Melbourne?
From here, yeah.
And you've obviously shopped here with Dennis for a long time.
Sadly, too much. So, yeah.
I think he spends more time here than Dennis does.
Yeah,
I probably do. Yeah, I live 10 minutes from here. So
nice.
Unfortunately, so yeah.
This is a nice little safe space, isn't it? When it comes to immersing yourself in.
Oh, it's yeah.
It's all your worries and troubles go away.
Oh yeah, you don't. Yeah, you go back to when you were a kid, and it's just there's so many toy line. I mean, I honestly can't think of any toy line ever.
Yeah,
that's from movies or anything that isn't represented in some way here. So.
Gavin Atkins has a comment. He said, "Why do most people call the Imperial Shuttle Tidarium? Because that was the name of the stolen one." Well, you know what, Gavin? You're absolutely right. They are Imperial shuttles, but I like the ring of Tidarium. It just sounds good, doesn't it?
And it sounds strong and powerful.
Yeah,
and, evil.
It is stolen.
Yeah.
But what did the toy box say? I don't know. I'm just asking.
Tidarium. I understand. I know that. Okay, I stand corrected. Sorry, Gavin. But like I said, Tidarium is cool.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, and pretty much. I mean, it came into prominence based on the fact that it was stolen. That's
exactly.
why. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, we'll get your point, Gavin. It's good. Good call out. Okay, and tell us what you're into quickly, Andy.
Well, Star Wars mostly, I guess. Big time Kiss collector as well.
Mm-hmm.
I do other various things, but what I sort of most focus on are those two, maybe $6 Million Man as well. So,
yeah, cool. And any particular pieces that you've found today as you've been in the store?
Well, I try not to look too hard, to be honest, because it's not payday yet.
Okay,
so,
cool.
When it gets to payday, then I look a little harder. But there's always something here. And I mean, I've been coming here once a week for years. And every time I come here and walk around, there's something that I didn't see the week before.
Okay.
So it's awesome. But there's so many. I love the way they've done the cabinets to represent the first movie to the end.
Yeah.
And a lot of people might not know, but in those cabinets, there's nothing missing at all. Every single figure, play set, and vehicle is represented in those cabinets.
Crazy.
So every single one, pop-up lightsabers, everything. So yeah.
Cool. And tell us before we go a bit more about your channel. Where can we find you? What is it called? Andy's Awesome Collectibles.
Andy's Awesome Collectibles.
And you do a lot of reviews,
unboxing. And then I do things like I collect Han Solo, for example. I got 6 out of the 7 variants. I do reviews and discuss the differences and things like that. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks guys.
For the chat. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
And Gavin goes, "Have you got any Action Jackson figures?" Maybe that's a question for Dennis. Dennis. He's trying to. He's
hiding again, isn't he?
He's around the corner. Let's go and try and get him.
So we can try to trap him.
We're going to try and trap Dennis. What's
it called?
No.
Action.
Come
what?
on, say hi.
Do you have any Action Jackson?
Gavin Atkins. He's your buddy, right? Gavin Atkins.
Yes.
Yes. He wants to know where your Action Jackson figures are.
Do we have any?
Do we have any?
I'm not sure if we have any. I mean, he's trying to run away.
He's trying to run away. Let's point us in the right direction. Action Jackson.
We don't. That's a really niche. That's becoming a very niche hard toy line. If we had any, and we did have one a couple of weeks ago, it did sell.
Action Jackson.
No. This is our sort of, we would keep it here with our vintage G.I. Joe.
Okay.
Action Man / G.I. Joe, depending what continent you're on. But no.
No Action Jackson?
We don't have any Action Jackson. He should win a prize for finding something we don't have.
Is this like a Google whack where we try to find something we don't have in stock?
So he
should win a prize.
What sort of prize? What prize can he win?
No prize.
Win today's no prize.
Today's no prize.
Okay.
The very, very rare and hard to find no prize. That's hard. No, we don't have any. We had something only a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And no longer do.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. And also, last but not least, we managed to spot something in this store, which is hard to come by. And I did ask Dennis something about that. You can see it all the way down there.
You guys go
and I'm like going, what the hell is that? So I might have to see if I can twist his arm.
It's the Mezco San Diego Con exclusive set that they released from memory or limited numbers. It's just over there. If you guys want to have a little wander over there and have a look at it, show the audience.
I'm going to have to twist this guy's arm tonight before we leave. But there you go. So that's the Mezco 112 Collective. They did put that online several months, maybe even last year. Very hard to come by now. There were some quality issues with it in terms of the way they were packed and delivered. Some figures doubled up. Some accessories were missing. I think there were issues again with QC, and some people got them incomplete. And the thing is, you don't know until you actually open the actual box itself and find out whether or not you were shipped with the correct figures, the assortment figures that were in there, as well as all the accessories that came with it. So, Gavin goes, do you hand out bibs for customers drooling? Hey, mate, I am drooling just like you are. So, like I said, I'm going to try and twist his arm, and I'm going to see whether or not I can pick that up somehow. So, yeah, that was my notable piece.
It's definitely a nice find.
Yeah. All right. We're going to try and wrap up by going down this aisle.
Yep. Starting with Spider-Man. Very, very niche superhero. Again, not very many people have ever heard of Spider-Man. It's not like he's everywhere.
Okay.
Best character in Marvel. Front and center. Don't even try to argue, because it is the truth.
Is he related to Jenna Jameson?
Possibly. He might be. Followed up with more, essentially.
Little mini bus there.
Little mini busts and just little card sets. Actually, like complete card sets too, which is nice.
Nice.
Little collectible metal things here. There's a whole section of Hulk stuff. There's a giant Hulk thing up the top here, which is just glorious.
Oh, okay. Let's put Craig out of his misery. Okay, quickly.
All right.
So we got Hall of Justice, DC, Vintage, some Neo-esque figures. We have, again, like we said, Voltron up here, Inspector Gadget. We have all the Skeleton Warriors here. That's it. Yep. And bits and pieces down here. The Duke of Hazards, Knight Rider, A-Team. There we go. Blue Thunder. Now that's a program I used to watch in the 80s. Sensational. And then little assortments here as well. Coneheads. Yeah, those are cool figures. I remember buying them. Maybe
they're Playmates as well, I think. Yes, they are.
1995-ish.
Alf down the bottom there.
Yep, Alf down here. Okay, now Craig,
Craig wants to be tortured.
We're gonna skip this entire section, right? But we're gonna come over here now and show you all the Motu classics. Now, I'm going to stand back. I'm just going to let Craig soak this in for a minute.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're starting here with pretty much everything. There's not a tongue lasher. I have looked. Or if there is a tongue lasher, it's in the bottom and I can't find it.
Sky, you did not miss She-Ra and classics, because right now we're looking at classics.
We've got Sweet Bee down here.
Okay. So
She-Ra,
Craig
Mister.
He said he had that Knight Rider RC car. But there is a Revelations Battle Cat up here.
Yep.
Some of the new modern stuff. We got some
Proctus.
Nice giants over here as well. In classics, we have a ton of classics. We have the Boro.
Hey, Craig, do you want a Castle Grayskull?
Fuma. Yes. Look,
I can't actually point upwards too high.
that's all right. I can show him. And a whole bunch of classics. Look, Craig, are you drooling yet? Look at all the classics. Look at all the classics. Come on, I'm gonna keep going. Look at all classics. Come on, yeah, classics, more classics. Sailrod, Commander Karg, Man at Arms, Faker He-Man.
There's a land shark up the top there.
Okay, there you go. King He-Man, Tongue Lashor. Look at the battle. Look at the battle ram.
Oh.
Or any vehicles. Okay.
Did you have to find the tongue lasher?
He wants a classic Motu classic battle cat. Can we ask Dennis?
We'll have to hunt him down again.
Or any vehicles will. Okay, where are the vehicles? Hey, can we ask Dennis? Dennis. Let's ask Dennis if we have Motu Classics Battle Cat. Just ask Dennis. He's just behind you. He's just back here.
Excuse me, Mr. Dennis, sir.
Yes, hello.
The camera's not here.
Hello.
In the classic stuff, do you know if you have a classics Battle Cat?
No, we do not have a classics battle cat. No.
No, unfortunately. Sorry, Craig. We don't have a.
But there are a lot of figures there.
Oh, I know. I just found one that I was looking for.
Yeah, there are a lot of figures, playsets at the top.
Yes.
There are point dreads at the top.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Nice.
There's battle lions, but not a battle cat.
No battle cats, Craig, unfortunately. Yes, Adam, that is a duffel bag. $149 for a duffel
It's in
bag.
really good nick, too.
Very good condition.
That's really good condition.
Absolutely. Craig, we don't have a battle cat, but we do actually have a battle lion up here in Module Classics. That helps. There's a battle lion up there. If you're into King He-Man, that's pretty cool. Adam goes, oh my God, that is beautiful. It's freaking awesome. Look at that. It's pretty good condition.
It's been looked after.
Yeah, very, very good condition. It's tiny though. It's a smaller duffel bag, but it's awesome.
Who needs a bag for work for their lunch?
Craig goes, oh yes. So yeah, that is a battle line up there. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. That is currently at just pricing, so you know. Can you see that? It's $599.
Bargain.
Yeah. $599, Craig. Okay. So yep. So that's
$279 for the one that I want. Although there's two versions of this, I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and then across this wall we have again a bit of mixed stuff. Last of the cabinets.
So we've got the Monstars here, or the Munsters, sorry. And Monstars is something else. We've got some classic Universal
Monsters.
horror stuff. Yep. Random aliens, including the Martian Spy Girl here in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Very
I
cool.
have so much nostalgia for Mars Attacks. It's not even funny.
Craig goes, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
Lots of McFarlane stuff here.
Yeah, lots
Plenty.
of McFarlane stuff. The last time I was here in the store, I picked up the Alice Cooper McFarlane, which I had huge nostalgia for because I used to have it and it disappeared.
Yeah. Actually, what I do want to get some point from Buffy is that library set. Remember that diorama? It was like a full library set.
Oh,
That's great. Yeah.
Yes.
And back to the same cabinet where Chris Steffu was drooling over those Akira figures again. And then you have some Hellboy stuff, Edward Scissorhands stuff, general mixed bag of different things. And again, last but not least, some more McFarlane stuff. So there you go.
Yeah.
Cool. So, and then the back wall, a ton of Lord of the Rings from Toy Biz. This was a very classic line, which I absolutely loved. And now they're being re-released by Diamond Select with different sculpts, better sort of paint, and also articulated sort of features as well. So, you know, there's some of these. I mean, I used to have a complete set of these, and I love them. So I think I sold my entire set to a guy in the Netherlands. They have the box sets. This is probably the most complete Lord of the Rings Toy Biz stuff you will find. Beautiful double box set here with Saruman with Sauron. That's a nice little set there as well. And then, yeah.
This has to have been a collection that was bought from
I
somebody.
guarantee.
For it to be this complete.
Yeah.
Some lovely Nickelodeon turtles on the wall.
Yep.
Along with some modern Marvel Legends, as well as some Toy Biz Marvel Legends.
Yeah. Craig goes, I've seen that Buddy library used as the interior of the X-Men mansion, and it looks awesome. Absolutely. So you mean, it's not Buddy, Buffy. That's it.
Yeah.
That Buffy library. Absolutely. So here we go. And that's, and then last but not least, the last cabinet here, we have
Huge nostalgia.
Thunderbirds and, you know,
Lost in
Jerry
Space.
Anderson, Lost in Space, etc., etc. Some of the classic Matchboxes. I have those figures here, the Matchbox figures. I actually scored. I bought the entire complete set for $10 a figure. So there you go.
That is damn good.
Yeah, UFO down here as well, and yeah, the little, like I said, Thunderbirds, Jerry Anderson. Oh, there, Craig. Does that look familiar? I'll give you 10 points if you can tell me what that is over here. Look at that, nostalgia for sure. Actually, thanks to you guys bought me a modern version, die-cast version of that. So, yeah. All right, cool.
So there is definitely more stuff here that we haven't looked at. There's another Transformers cabinet there. There's a small cabinet of Mighty Max I know of because me and Chris was looking at it earlier. And I sent photos to my brother because I'm pretty sure one of them in there is one that he used to have as a kid. There's just walls and walls of stuff. There's a ton of Barbie behind you here as well.
Yeah.
It's probably worth talking about. I know Barbie, especially retro Barbie, is extremely collectible now. It's certainly not something up my aisle, but I know that it's extremely popular with certain crowds. Speaking of Transformers, here's the thing that they ripped off in here. He says, referring back to an old joke from earlier in the night.
GoBots.
Yep.
Yep, there you go.
So they are getting their revenge.
Yeah. So Revenge of the GoBots. There you go. No Battle of the Planets. Actually, there were a few little ones here which I saw, but I think they were just 2 figures. And pretty much that's it. So anyway, let's go back to the guys, and we're going to close shop and wrap up. And thank you once again, Dennis, for allowing us into your store, doing live stream, for all you guys for joining us. If you are ever in Melbourne, make sure you come down there in Thornby on, is it St. George's Road?
St. George's Road in Thornbury.
Yeah.
If you're in Melbourne, this is a toy store that you need to see, to the point where I know of celebrities from the US that go out of their way to come here whenever they're in the country.
Yeah.
So it is well worth your time.
Cool. All right. On that note, I guess we can say goodbye. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. And any last rights before we say goodbye?
Thank you very much to those that reached out, and thank you for joining us.